No. There we go. That should be audio. Oh, I haven't streamed in like a month. I haven't streamed since last year. So, yeah. Welcome into Drawing Fan. Happy 2024 to you as well. Yeah. So timeline-wise, we're doing storyline. So Ascension is the very first game chronologically in the Kratos journey. So it's God of War Ascension. No, I fixed it up on one screen before. I didn't fix it up on all of them. You know, updates and all that default, change the default settings. So yeah, it's God of War Ascension, then Chains of Olympus, then God of War 1, the original, is the third game in the story. Then Ghosts of Sparta, and then God of War Betrayal. And God of War Betrayal is the game that most people don't know about because it's a mobile game from before iPhone. So it's a 2005, 2004, 2005. So it's a pretty old, crappy mobile game. And then God of War 2, God of War 3, then the rebooted series. So yeah, let's go to the full screen. And yeah, so we're just going to go in here. We are playing this on a PlayStation 3. There's the old controller. I am using a video splitter because, you know, the copyright crap on the PlayStation 3 is a nightmare for streaming, so hopefully that doesn't have any problems. We'll just go new game and then normal. So I do have a clock now in the corner, so we can see the time. Oh, sorry, story first.
Kratos, the great Spartan general, was finally defeated. Driven mad, tortured and uncertain of his surroundings, the warrior found himself captured like a fly in the web of the Furies.
Do let me know if the game audio needs to be turned up too.
Never again.
Hello, Kratos.
What's wrong? You seem confused, Kratos. Having trouble remembering our special time together? But then again, we were rudely interrupted by my sister. Alecto was never one for manners. Not to worry. I am quite skilled at teaching respect. For what you've taken, I owe you that. Is that the best you can offer? Your rage means nothing! cannot be ruined by a mortal! You think you are special because Ares chose you, but you are nothing! You are a worthless mortal! Lord Ares is a fool to want you back! Try as you might, you will never catch me!
Well, I'm pretty sure he does at some point, you know, given it. This version of the Furies has never been in another game, but, you know, Kratos has like 8 more adventures.
Die, mortal!
I'll be honest, I kind of forgot how much button mashing you do in this game. In this series, in the older games, I should say. Yeah, local time for me. So it's in 24-hour time. Just to make it a bit easier for folks.
You will perish in your attempt to be free!
Yeah, it's one of the things I wanted to add,
We're all innocent. Shut your hole!
just because, you know, some people were curious about timing, so I thought that'd be easier to put on there. She has 6 legs, yes, but she's missing an arm. Let's turn off tutorials because we don't need those. Let's make it a little brighter. Let me just increase the volume for me on the game.
We'll see how we treat Oathbreakers here! It is time for you to meet your death. We will see how you fare against the Hecatoncheires!
If I'm not mistaken, the Hecatoncheires is the one they called the 100 Hands. I gotta remember the right stick is dodge. This is a quick time. Thank goodness I got a bit of health because I was only had seven health orbs left.
You cannot defeat us!
See, it's been that long since I've played this, I honestly don't recall what happens.
My sisters are too kind to you.
Although they call it the sewers, even though we're inside of a giant beast, technically that's not a sewer, that's a digestive system. I forgot I've got to hold the button down. Do I have anything enough for an upgrade? No, nowhere near enough. That's fine. Man, I gotta remember to dodge. I'd honestly forgotten about the consistent button mashing. See if there's an option to turn that off. No, there's literally no options for that. Controls? No. Oh well. It's like, why is he walking so slow all of a sudden?
I will not indulge you as my sister.
He is the one! He will free us from the Fury's grasp! He is cursed! Stay away!
In all that, I completely forgot I have to do one more thing. And it's because I keep forgetting. One. we go. Forgot to share one particular thing. Oh, there we go. And I'm glad I remember my Greek mythology enough to remember that this is the 100 Hands one. Not him. So in mythology, the Hecatoncres were created by Poseidon as a means to work at his... Poseidon, to work undersea in the forges of Hephaestus. But they were betrayed. That was a weird thing. They were convinced to betray him, and then when they were replaced with Cyclops. Cyclopses? Cyclopses?
Glory be to Olympus! I am free! Gods give me strength!
I love how you know, they just sort of wait in position to be smooshed. Keep pressing circle to dodge, and circle is not dodge. Okay. See? First to break a blood oath.
Meet your end!
And from memory, the Blades of Chaos are made from Stygian iron, which is iron dipped in the river Styx. From memory.
I have little patience left.
I think it's just like sitting there now, it's not even gonna like break or go up further. Remember, doesn't his eye like aim at me or something? Oh, it's one of these moments. Definitely not for children.
Is that Kratos? Oh, the gods have rewarded us. Glory to Eros. He has given us a champion. Come, champion. Show me your strength.
No, me. They are nothing. Come with me and experience the greatest of pleasures.
He is mine! I will take care of this!
Almost certain that was Electo. I will take care of this, she says as she throws me out a wall and then runs off again. Or can I get to 100? No, 98. Oh well.
You have caused me pain for the last time, Spartan!
Oh no. Honestly, I got so caught up in trying to hack at the little guys, I wasn't paying attention. Can't even see where I bloody am. This is perhaps the ultimate example of stop hitting yourself. I mean, I'd love to know what I'm supposed to do here. Oh, the controller went flat. Well, that was fun. The controller decided to go flat. And of course, this is in the generation where there's no actual, you know, the console doesn't pause to go, oh, by the way, your controller's gone flat, reconnect controller.
Focusing only on the task ahead, Kratos struggled to remember the weeks prior to his imprisonment. To the time when he set out to break his bond with Ares, the god of war.
Your mind is troubled. Your skills are still without equal.
Do you have business with me?
I do. But this is not the manner to discuss it.
I see no other way.
You have no reason to trust me, Spartan. I only ask that you try. Your thoughts are not your own, but I can help you. I believe these belong to you. Use these items to still your mind, Kratos. Do not let illusion deceive you. Have the visions ceased?
I see only you.
Good. You will need this skill for the path ahead.
And what path is that?
The path of freedom, Kratos.
Freedom.
Yes,
I don't remember his name, but he holds the blood oaths.
freedom from the Furies who relentlessly hunt you in the name of Ares, and ultimately, freedom from your bond to the God of War himself.
Break an oath with a god. Of all the minds in question, mine is not the one to worry about.
You waver from sound mind to illusion in the beat of a heart. Is that any life for a great warrior? The Furies are near. They cannot know I speak with you. I will draw them away. The truth waits for you in Delphi, Kratos. Seek the Oracle.
The Oracle of Delphi, or Delphi as we would say today. So I might have to order a battery in for this controller. The controller, how old's the PS3 now? I want to say 2005? 2006? Somewhere in there. I'm actually going to check that because I want to know. 2006. But we got it in 2007. This particular model that I have is an American PS3 that I bought when my launch model PS3, the one that had the PS2's backwards compat in it, died. And I spent $250 and PlayStation repaired it. And then about 8 months later, it died again from the same thing. It was the yellow light issue. And then, because like 2 weeks later, I was heading to the States, I ended up buying this one for like $190 or something Australian, and because it was region free, it made sense to do it. Yay! Health is always welcome. So, I bought the PS3 in the States. And that would have been 2010, 2011? Because this is a DualShock controller, it's the one with rumble, not just the standard 6-axis. So because of that, this controller's 12 or 13 years of age. Is it here? Or? No. Yeah, so it's a good number of years old. They probably, the SSX tags are probably up because I honestly didn't even think about those when I went live. I did have the volume turned down a little bit, but you know, we can tweak the audio. That should be fine. How you doing, Tabs? How's that for the game volume? We've turned. I keep hitting, you know, the start button to go to the pause menu. We'll go for 70 and see how that goes. Oh, sorry, 75. Oh, I forgot. Awesome. Yeah, there's keep forgetting that there's no camera controls in this series. There is obviously in the PS4, PS5 stuff, but in the PS3 and PSP games there's no camera controls. You missed our glorious fight against the Hekatonkeys. Hekatonkeys. It's not the Hekatonkeys. It's the Hekatonkrees. There's an R in there.
For those who seek the truth, the heat of Ares' fire has no burn.
Well, that's a heck of a roach problem because that's like the 9,000th bug I've killed already. Quick time event, man. See, I don't know if he has the discipline to be in the Olympics, because I suspect at some level someone would say something or he wouldn't get a perfect score, and then all of a sudden, you know, he would literally like tear the other competition in half. I suppose it would give new meaning to destroying the competition. What's this? I love these chests. He's so strong. He can literally, you know, repel the attack of a creature 10,000 times his size, but he struggles to lift the lid off a chest. He would make it look pretty tame. You know, in all the games that are set in, you know, the Greek mythology, I don't recall if there's actually a time Kratos went to any sort of Colosseum-like place. Obviously, he wouldn't go to the Roman Colosseum, given that, you know, it's Greek mythology, but... Ow. Big time events. They're going to do my head in by the end of this game. Yeah, but is the Acropolis considered to be a Colosseum? I know the the Parthenon isn't. So I say the Pantheon. That's, you know, the you know, lineup of gods. No, I don't think it is, but it's like... Yeah, I knew I was going to die soon. So I was hoping to get to that green chest. Yeah, I said, like, well, maybe when you went to Hades... Gonna have to research that after stream. Look out, Nathan Drake, I'm coming for you. That'd be the coolest thing ever if they did another Uncharted game, but they just went weird as hell and made him time travel. So he's actually going to these places when they were brand new and not falling apart. I do wonder what Naughty Dog are up to. Obviously, you know, remastered part 2 is coming out soon. And the multiplayer Last of Us was cancelled in December. We've got 2 teams, 2 and a bit teams. So I wonder what the, well, I say 2 and a bit. We don't really know who's doing the remaster, but I'm also curious about what Neil Druckmann's new game's supposed to be. Bad dog. There you go. I mean, it's not the biggest surprise that they would have something like that, but... No. Oh. But yeah, I don't know, just sort of just came to me that maybe in all the places Kratos went, he didn't go to a actual Colosseum style location. No, I figured you meant anti-maiming, not anti-mailing. I mean, they could have been very anti, you know, postage, but... There we go. I mean, if you've seen, not the Percy Jackson series that's airing now, I think it's Lin-Manuel Miranda who's Hermes. In the second movie they did, which was called Sea of Monsters, they took parts of the 5th book and put it at the end of the 2nd book to try and give, you know, the movie a, you know, the overall arcing story and ending. Because, you know, why not? Thanks for telling me where to go, game. I appreciate that. But in that movie, Hermes is played by Nathan Fillion. Oh, for fuck's sake. Took me half a dozen attempts to get it in the first place, and then when I finally do, I jump off to the side like a nutcase. I will say, Tabs, you might get a kick out of this. Not sure who that's supposed to be. Creature-wise, I mean. with the feature that I put on Vooks for the Nintendo stores that I went to. Yeah, the film series was weird because they aged up all the kids to be sort of, mid to late teens, which worked for the first movie, but the second movie was like 3 years later in production, and they were, well out of their teens at that point. But yeah, so when I did that feature for Vooks for the Nintendo stores, I was in Hong Kong when I wrote it, because I was literally shopping in Hong Kong for something specific, and there was a shop, and I went to one place that they didn't have it, and then Google Maps said, "Oh, this other place might have it. Try there." And I was like, "Oh, cool." So I went to this place, and as I was walking into the big shopping center, I saw all these Nintendo Christmas adverts, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And then what was really funny was I just took a couple quick photos, and then as I turned around, there was a sign above me saying Nintendo Store on 3rd floor, and I was like, "Hang on, what?" So I did that feature, and I made the artwork for it, and then a week and a half ago, I found the artwork in somebody's reel or TikTok. They'd stolen it from Vooks.net and used it in their video to talk about the Nintendo stores. It made me laugh when I saw that. And the reason I know they went to the site and took it is because I Googled, like I tried searching every possible combination of Nintendo Store, Nintendo Store Tokyo or Osaka, Kyoto, right? Every Google SEO type phrasing that I could come up with to see if I could find that artwork in the Google image search, and it was nowhere to be found. So the reason why the books work, and I love the first series, and then the author went to he brought in the Roman gods. It's like, but the Roman gods were the Greek gods with a different name, like similar personalities. It was all sorts of weird. And then he went into Egyptian mythology, which I loved because I love Egyptian mythology. And then he went into Norse mythology, but he changed the writing point of view. It was more like a diary entry sort of style than a traditional book, and it was just really weird. And I want to watch the series. I just will wait until they're all up first, because I know the story, and I know I'm going to be like at the point where I'm like, yeah, this is boring filler crap. Get to the good, the actual story beat. Look, I mean, if you've not seen anything, then sure. Like, if you've not read the books, then sure, it might be a good thing to you know, wait upon, like, week on week. But the vast majority of people I know have read the books. See, the only reason I would give them, like, give the show a pass on that sort of stuff is because it's actually being written by the guy who wrote the books, not the other way around, which is usually, you know, either they're not involved or they're involved in like a, you know, we're checking how you've written the story to see if this makes sense sort of thing. I'm so glad there's a giant green light at the end of this slide. Otherwise, I'd have never known what was going to happen. I mean, I haven't seen the show, obviously, but the first book, they kind of jump around for the first like half of it because they try to give the audience, like the reader, a sense of everything that's going on, but at the same time, you know, not spoiling anything. It's a very weird pacing thing. The second half is a lot smoother, thankfully, but it's the second book is where it really gets going.
Take the Ice of Poseidon and you will find your path.
Why would there be the Ice of Poseidon and not the Ice of Boreas? Yeah, because Boreas is the god of the north wind. You know, he's the god of ice and snow. Whereas Poseidon was the god of, you know, water and horses. It's just one of those things where people do it all the time when they talk about like the Greek gods. They always just use like the main gods and ignore all the minor gods. Oh. Keep pressing circle for dodge and circle's not dodge. You're talking about the one with Ted Danson and Kirsten Bell, that good place? Then yes, I have seen the good place. Going for the... Oh, stupid Kratos. Oh, yeah. Chris oh, God. His surname is so Greek I can never pronounce it. He plays Dionysus. Which, when they announced that casting, I was like, are you for real? You've cast the guy who's known for being crazy and drug-addled in almost everything that he plays. You've cast him as the lead of Camp Half-Blood. Oh. The problem is the controller's a bit sticky because it's so old. Plastic's turning, and then the X button doesn't like to think. Yeah, what's the movie? Dirty Grandpa? Yeah. With Robert De Niro and Zac Efron. He plays, you know, a drug dealer guy who runs like a beach shack. And even though the cops know he's dealing drugs, he's just like so charismatic they just don't care or they don't arrest him for it. He's also in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was the oh God, what's his character's name? I was gonna say Pimento, but I don't think it is that, but it also sounds right. He was the cop that was undercover for so long. Yeah, they go to get married or something at some point. But he plays that type of character almost in everything he's in, except this one. I can't think who they cast as Chiron. Like, the actual casting, because I was, you know, reporting on it, the actual casting was fairly good. Like, it was a good mix of actors. And then obviously Lance Reddick was cast as Zeus, which will be interesting, obviously, if they do a second season. Not him, yes, stupid thing. But like with the first movie, it was really interesting. They cast Pierce Brosnan as Chiron, or Chiron, depending on how you want to talk about it, which was fine. There we go again. But yeah, so they cast him in it, and then in the second one, they replaced him with Anthony Giles. You know, he's a great actor, but it's like it's not really the same as being, you know, Pierce Brosnan. So, who else was in the first one? Uma Thurman was in there as Medusa, which was a weird casting choice. Oh god, the English comedian. He was in the Night at the Museum movies, and he played the Centurion to Owen Wilson's Cowboy. The little figures. He also played in Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan. But he played Hades in the movie. Who else was in there? Sean Bean was Zeus. And then some random guy was Poseidon. Oh, and Smelly Gabe was Steve Coogan, that's it. I kept wanting to say Steve Bannon. I'm like, no, it's not Steve Bannon. There was somebody else in that movie. But Smelly Gabe was I can't think of his name. He was the police chief in the Bad Boys movies. He was Cypher in The Matrix. He's the one that made the deal with Agent Smith. But he was in that. So before we start fighting again, let's actually upgrade. Don't quite have enough to power up this one though. Oh, I upgraded the blades and managed to make it through. Right, this seems like a good place to end with our 2 hours. So let's just pause it because it's saving. While it does that, let me swap to the big screen so I can say, look at my fancy background. Woohoo! So in terms of the games so in order, it's Ascension, Chains of Olympus, 1, Ghost of Sparta, Betrayal, and then 2. So that's the order of them. I do want to show you a few little things though, tabs. This is my Famicom Disk System blind box that I got from the Nintendo store. This is actually for your Opal travel card or your MyKey card or whatever state you're in that has the card. So you just tap that to the turnstile and that's how you get in and out. So I have that one. And then the other thing is I bought a Nintendo DSi XL. It's freaking out because of the thing. And there were 2 bits of hardware that I wanted, or 3 bits that I wanted. One was the Game Boy, which I have behind me because I found one here. One was a DSi XL, or LL as they call it in Japan. It says LL on the back there. And then the other was a Vita. And I couldn't get a good Vita. The ones that were around $100 were pretty scuffed. I managed to get one the other day though, so I'm happy with that. But this was marked as junk in the hard off that I went to. I went to a bunch of hard offs, but this was marked as junk in one of them. And I was like, oh, I wonder why it's junk. And the guys basically said the battery runs down really fast. I was like, oh, that's fine. It's just a new battery, right? So I bought a cable to charge it because I didn't take a cable with me because I'm an idiot. Now it is obviously fully in Japanese. There's no English language on this model because it's a DSi, and they did that for Japan. They put them exclusively in Japanese. However, it does play games from every region. I've tested that out and it's worked fine. The battery on this has not had an issue. It's not missed a beat in the month that I've had it now. But the thing that I love about this is it cost me $27. The only thing I had to buy separate was another stylus. And unfortunately, I couldn't get the same color when I needed to buy the stylus. So I have a black one instead of the thing. But yeah. And then I got a bunch of games and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the fact that I found this for 27 bucks is a miracle. Let me grab one more thing. I thought they were in another room. They were not. They were behind me. I already owned this game. I have it in my box behind me. But I wanted to buy this because it was 300 yen. It was $3, and I just needed another. I needed a Game Boy game to test out the Game Boy stuff on this one. For some Game Boys that I was buying. So for 300 bucks, I bought a 300 yen. I bought that one, and then I picked up SimCity on the DS, which I love SimCity, so that was a easy buy for me. And then after exploring like 9 shops in Osaka, I was heading back to the hotel with a bunch of stuff that I bought, and I was passing what they call a book off, and it's book off is basically secondhand books, but they do sell video games and movies in that there. And in there, I happened to find SimCity DS 2. And I checked with the guys on the Bookcast. We'd never heard of it. We'd never heard of SimCity DS 2. SimCity DS, yes. 2, no. So I got those. I picked up Mario Kart DS in a case for 500 yen, so $5, because I don't actually own that. I don't own many DS games anymore. This still has the price tag on it, but there's New Super Mario Brothers for DS, and it says on the case 270 yen. So $2.70 for this game. It's a very good buy for that one. This is the most expensive game that I bought. It's Mario 64 DS, and I bought this at Super Potato in Osaka, and it was the only store I went to. Half a dozen? No, probably a bit more than that. Maybe a dozen secondhand game shops around Tokyo. I didn't go to many. Actually, I didn't go to any in Kyoto. They were a little too far out of the way. But Super Potato, they're the only place that had this. And it was $15, so I bought that one because I wanted that. And then in Hong Kong, I bought this. It was 100 Hong Kong dollars. It was about $20 Australian. Bit expensive for a FIFA game, I know. But I really just wanted to test out the region free stuff. In one of the searches that I did, I found Mickey Speedway USA in its Japanese box. Now I have the cartridge behind me, but it's an NTSC America cartridge because it never got released in PAL. And I've just noticed on the back of the box, in this area here, it literally states rental is prohibited, selling secondhand is not allowed. Obviously somebody didn't tell them. The only thing, it doesn't have the manual, which, I don't care about that. But the thing that sort of impressed me is this is apparently how it's a clear plastic thing, not a folder. But yeah, so I now have 2 copies of this game. I've got 2 copies of a lot of games. I bought some just because they were there. But yeah, I just wanted this for the box art. I thought the box art was amazing. But that was $12. And then for $1 each, I picked up Wii Sports Resort, which I do have somewhere, but I can't find it. But then I picked up this one. So obviously I have Wii Sports because everyone in Australia got Wii Sports with their Wii. In Japan, they didn't. They had to buy it separately. But I bought this because I think that box art is amazing. And for $1, like I'm not kidding, I paid $2 for these two games. So I was not going to complain about that at all. And then I picked up this for $2.70 because I don't have the case for this anymore. So just for it to sit on the shelf, it's there. And then this cost me $9. Might have been $11. But the 25th anniversary box set for the Mario collection, and it is complete, which means it has both the game and the bonus disc. So yeah, like, and there's the booklet. Like when I say complete, like it's everything. Obviously, it's all in Japanese, but I don't care about that. But yeah, I have more games. They're in another room. I bought a copy of Donkey Konga for $1 because it was in the junk section of a hard off. I found a wall of Wii consoles for $5 a pop. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that I found. Obviously, I bought stuff for some of the guys. Most of it's all in the other room because I've been very, very lazy. I bought a copy of Tetris DS because it was in a case and all the games in this case were 150 yen. I was like, sure, I'll buy a copy of that. It's very hard to come by. Completely forgetting I actually have it in the case already. So I have the Japanese version and the Australian version. And when I bought this, because I didn't have any things, it came with Nintendo DS cooking guide. Somebody put that in there, and then a Hot Wheels game. For whatever reason, in this case, with my DS cartridge. So, I think I'll put that one in there. From memory, it's very, very similar, but I mean, I haven't put it in the console to test it out because I haven't put it up. Oh, that's the other thing I bought. So with the hard off, they label things as junk. Now sometimes it'll be listed as junk because it'll have massive scratches on the screens. There's my the back of my Tokyo Nintendo Store receipt. Yeah, so sometimes it'll have scratches over the screens, like the sticks on a controller, like the rubber sticks might be missing or chewed. That can be really grotty, like the fact you wouldn't pick it up if you didn't have gloves on. Sometimes it can be just because there's no case for a game, but sometimes, and for the majority of the time, a lot of the things that are marked as junk is just because they've not tested it. So they might have consoles come in, but they don't have any of the TVs or the cables to connect it up to test out to see if the console works. So they just mark it as junk. In one store, I found a Game Boy Advance wide for $70 marked as junk, and there was no notes on it. Like there was nothing stating what was wrong with it. And one of the guys from the bookcast wanted a Game Boy Advance for modding, and he was like, no, look, if we don't know if it turns on or not, it's a bit hard to judge. But that was also a bit above price. But in another store that I went to, and I will eventually share photos from some of those stores, I picked these up, a red nunchuck and a red Wii remote, because I've always wanted the red ones. And I picked them up, and they were marked as junk, as in they don't know if they work or there's issues with them. I popped batteries inside this and it did turn on, which is a good thing. I haven't actually hooked up a console yet because I've been very lazy on that. But I picked all these up. I picked this. These were two individual items, but it cost me $5.50 for a red Wii remote and the red nunchuck. And I was very, very happy with that. because yeah, I wanted one, and it was one of those things that, you know, which you couldn't find. The funny thing about the Donkey Konga is I bought 2 more junk games from another hard op. The first one I went to, and they opened at 11. I was there at like 10 to, so I just wandered the shops in the arcade, and I got into this hard off, and their game section was like this wide. It was absolutely anemic, and I remember going, oh, and I thought, well, I've come all this way, I should buy something. So I picked up Monster Hunter 1 and 2 on PSP because, you know, they were $1 each, because $1.10 each, sorry, because they were in the junk section. So yeah, picked up a lot of good stuff on the trip. So yeah, I mean, I could show you everything that I bought, but we'd be here for another hour. But yeah, you can't see it because I've got the background on. I've got a bunch of Nintendo stuff. So behind me, there's my Charizard plush that I bought at the Pokemon Center. I bought a Pokeball there as well. What else did I get? I bought a deck of cards because they were like special at the checkout, which was cool. But I bought this. It's a notebook. That's all it is. But it's a notebook designed for writing in Japanese because it's got the grid on it. And then I bought a mechanical pencil, and it's got the art on the pencil. It's got the iconography on the thing, and it says Nintendo, you know, copyright Nintendo, and it matches the art on the front of the book here. So Link through to Mario, that's the main artwork for the Nintendo stores, and it's the same stuff on the pen. So yeah, that's just because it was right beside me that I grabbed that one. But yeah, so just a few things in the collection from my time away. Oh, look at that, we've gone over, but that's fine. That's going to do us though for today. I know I'm starting half an hour earlier, so I'm finishing a bit earlier. You know, that way if I do run over, if I'm like in the middle of a boss fight, I'm like, oh well, it's 2 hours, time to go. But yeah, so we're back on Thursday for the next section of the game. From memory, this is only about an 8-hour game, so it shouldn't take us too long to get through this one. But then once we're through this one, we're on to the next one. And because E3 is not a thing this time anymore, because that's now dead, we definitely will not have any giant, you know, month-long break in the middle of the year. And I will be avoiding all sorts of birds in magpie mating season, so I should not have any issues with playing games in October. But yeah, we're back on Thursday for more of the stream. These will be downloaded because I meant to do that with the Splinter Cell, but I only remembered like halfway through. But these will be downloaded and put up on the YouTube channel as well, so you can go back and watch them, you know, indefinitely. If you did watch live, thank you for watching live. If you watched the replay, I hope it was entertaining. Otherwise, we'll catch you when we're online next time. But until then, happy gaming.